Hello, I'm Jody Wolf. You're watching EXPOZ. Today, October 8, 2010 in Birmingham, Alabama. It's a little after midnight. Today's topic will be capitalist versus socialist. And I want to give you a little rundown of what that means for you and what that means for me. To start with, our Constitution had in place sworn to uphold foreign and domestic was installed in that Constitution. And it was installed for a reason. What foreign and domestic means, for example, Cuba, domestic, was taken over by Castro. Venezuela was taken over by Chavez. That's a domestic, that's an inside takeover. Iraq, the same thing. Germany, domestic takeover by, you got it, the evil man that killed millions of Jews. So you get my point, what foreign and domestic means, and it was placed in our Constitution for a reason. It pre-warned us this could happen, or happen, but it also pre-warned us what we needed to do is simply stick to the Constitution. Because when Hitler moved from whatever constitution they had and went, for example, and invited Austria in, they thought, well, look at this. I mean, we're invited to the state fair, but we'll live there forever. It changed. So, let me give you some facts. Capitalists, you decide how high you want to go. You decide where you want to work, how many hours you want to work, how much money you want to make. Socialist, you do not decide. The government decides for you. Period. You have no decision. Fact, capitalists, live where you want to live. If you make enough money that you want to buy a home in another country, do it. You want to move to Australia, do it. You want to live in Florida, do it. You want to live in California, you want to live in Montana, you want to live in Birmingham, do it. Socialist, you can't do that. You don't earn enough money. It doesn't matter how many hours you work, they dictate where you live. Now, let me tell you one more thing. You capitalists, you old capitalists, you can build whatever size home you want that you can afford. If you want to live in a 3,000 square foot house, get in it, man. Socialist? Nah, you're going to have to stick to small. Other countries will be a little larger than them, but the other countries average 240 to 300 square feet. That's a little bit smaller than my master bedroom. That's a fact. Here, it'll be a little bit different. And that average will be 300 to 500 square feet. And 500 will be large for a home. Believe me. Capitalists, drive any car you want that you can afford. I have an Expedition. I have a Harley Davidson. I have a Caterpillar tractor. I can afford it. I bought it. I paid for it. Socialist, you'll be stuck with these little 3-cylinder 60-mile-a-gallon cars that bellow smoke. In other words, you're not going to afford much because you don't make much. Forget the hours you work. You don't make much. So that won't change. Remember, you're not your boss anymore. You gave that up. You gave your freedom up. Capitalist. Insurance. I pay my own insurance. Pay it out of my pocket. I went to the doctor day before yesterday. I waited 10 minutes. I saw him for 10 minutes and I was out. Socialist. If you have a code like I had, forget the doctor. You don't go to the doctor for a code. Got news for you. Although you paying a high price for the state-owned insurance, you don't go to the doctor for a code. Why do you think Canadians come here? Oh, by the way, if you're capitalist and you're 55, 57 years old, you need a stent in your heart, go get it. A buddy of mine went in 2 weeks ago on a Friday. Tomorrow will be 2 weeks to the day. 11 a.m. Didn't feel too well. 5 p.m. he was in his recovery room, had an open heart operation where they split him down the rib cage. Socialist, forget it. If you're the age of 50, 55, that option is out. You don't do it. You don't get that much money spent on you. Hey, that's the law. That's the health law. That is the new law that our government is putting on you, and you're accepting that. It really behooves me. Capitalists, go to any church you want, worship anyone you want, and I hope that you worship the Creator, God Jehovah, and I hope Jesus Christ is your Lord and Savior. If you're socialist, you worship who they want you to worship. There's no freedom of religion. There's no freedom from religion. Why do you think they kill you in Iran? Why do you think they kill you in Afghanistan? Why do you think they kill you in China? For worshiping any other than a moon god. A moon god. Or a Buddha. You don't. You worship who they tell you to worship. And my bet is you'll worship pretty much Obama. If that's who you want to worship, go for it, big boy. I'm all for you. And I hope you have fun doing it. Okay. Capitalists. Do you have a weapon in your home? I do. I might have one. Socialist. You don't own weapons. You do not own weapons. If you have one, you're caught, you will be locked up for 5 years. The same as in Mexico. 5 years. But guess what? All the bad guys have weapons. Look at Mexico. Look at them. Since 2006, 30,000 people has died on the border towns in Mexico. The cops can't fight them because they beat the cops. The government is outgunned. So, socialists, you can have weapons. You're not capitalist because you chose to be socialist. So you can't have weapons. The bad guys have weapons. They rule the day. Even with the government, they rule the day. That's a fact. Capitalists, earn a good living for your hard work Meaning if you want to own a convenience store, work it by yourself or work it with somebody else, or work it and then get off and do a mechanic's job. Make you good money. If you want to be a doctor, go to school, do it, make you good money, good living. Socialist. You can drive a garbage truck or work at a convenience store and make the same money as the doctor that'll work on you when you go see him. That's right, that doctor may have a part-time job working at a convenience store or a mechanic. You don't choose. They choose for you what you do. If you want to be an athlete, they choose. And if you're an athlete, then that's all you do. You don't do anything else, but you work out 8 hours, 10 hours a day, 7 days a week, and you're the best. And if you fail them, you're punished for it. Last but not least, capitalists. Fly as high as you want, as high as that dream will allow you. Go for it. Do it. The America's the dream. Socialist. Your flying days are over. And last but not least, the government who wrote these laws are exempt from every law that is imposed on you. That's right, the government is 100% exempt from the laws that are imposed on you. Take it, do what you want. November 2nd, you can change it. Jody Wolf, EXPOZ.